Hey guys, how you doing? Chris Rod, Sun City Lawn Care. Today, what we're also going to be doing, in addition to many other things, which I've already taken care of as far as the garden, any kind of harvest, we've removed or we've harvested some eggplant, peppers, some okra. We did a little lettuce cutting today. Gosh, what else? The compost bin here, we've filtered out some fresh compost because today we're talking about garlic. And it's October, and as most of us throughout the United States, we plant our garlic, whether it be a soft neck or hard neck garlic, in the month of October. Here in El Paso, West Texas, we've been averaging, the high 70s, low 80s. We've had some 85s this past week to the mid 60s, cooler part of the evenings, and we've had a actually good amount of rainfall compared to other, years prior. So we're kind of cleaning up our beds, and the month of October, with the ghouls and the ghosts and the vampires coming out, that's how you can remember it's time to do your garlic. Vampires, garlic. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be amending this bed. Okay, so as you guys can see, I've got some corn stalks we're going to take care of, and I've got my summer squash, and we've got some watermelons that we're going to be ripping out. The watermelon, this was some volunteer growth. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. This particular plant we started in February, but we had some last minute watermelons come through. The corn here, what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be utilizing these stalks as if it was a dried up barley or bale of hay. And I'm going to go ahead and dig a trench right here in the center, about a foot, maybe a foot and a half deep, and I'm going to lay the corn in the center. What that's going to do is it's going to help with water retention. Here in the desert, we don't get a lot of rainwater. We don't get a lot of snowfall. So every edge that I can take, I'm going to incorporate into our raised bed gardening system here in the food forest. So again, I'm just going to be planting these. I'm going to be burying them into the soil system. And then I'm going to refurbish the soil after I rip all this out with some fresh compost from the compost bins, okay? We're going to take about 1 inch to 2 inches of fresh compost, and we're going to work that into the soil along with a fertilizer application high in phosphorus, okay? We're going to keep it organic as much as possible, and we're going to sprinkle out some fertilizer, okay? Now, something to mention is I did already plant some red clover inside of this garden because, as you know, as gardeners do, we constantly like to have a root system constantly growing in the soil system. That helps the microorganisms and the biochemistry of the overall soil so that when you plant your next crop, you've always got readily available nutrients. In the case of clover, for example, you're always doing some sort of nitrogen fixture and growing crop. The last thing you want to do is leave bare dirt soil. So today I'm going to be walking you through our process of planting garlic here in October in West Texas. And the last thing I'm going to say before we get to it is I'm going to be trying something new this year. The garlic is going to be 2 varieties. Well, we got a couple different varieties, but I'm going to be showing you guys how you can simply get some product from the store, some garlic. In my case, we went to Albertsons and we got some organic garlic grown here in the United States. And I've got, that's the soft neck. And then I've got some hard neck varieties as well. Different varieties, about 6 different varieties that I got from migardener.com last year that we grew, okay? And I've had them, and we didn't use them, we didn't eat them or anything. We've just kept them, we've harvested them, we kept them, and we're gonna replant them to repropagate that same variety, okay? They are all hardneck garlic varieties. I'm gonna plant those in the section over there. I'm gonna do the soft necks over here, or vice versa, whichever. And the garlic that I got, the organic garlic that I got from Albertsons, the test trial we're doing is the soaking of garlic this year for 2022 going into 2023. I've never soaked garlic, okay? So it's going to be something new, and we're going to see how it does compared to the hard neck varieties that I have that I am not going to soak, okay? The soft neck, the store-bought, again, it's organic, and I've got it soaking in 1 gallon of water right now. I broke them up. I've got each each individual garlic bulb, soaking in a gallon of water with a tablespoon of baking soda, a tablespoon of fish emulsion, and a tablespoon of sea kelp. All right, and we're gonna see how it does throughout the season, and when it comes time to harvest, we're just gonna see which does better, the hard neck not soaked or the soft neck that has been soaked. All right, guys, that's it. That's how we prep our bed, refurbish it, rip out what's old, put in some new fresh compost, give it a little fertilizer boost on that organic side, higher in the phosphorus, and then we're gonna be planting the garlic here shortly, and I'll show you guys how we do that. It's very easy. All right, guys, so we've got the bed prepped, and all we're gonna simply do is start to actually sow the garlic. We've had them soaking, for about 4 hours now. Again, we did a soaking solution of in a gallon of water with 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of sea kelp, and a tablespoon of fish emulsion. 4 hours. You can do it for as little as 30 minutes. You can do it as much as 24 hours or a couple days, as long as you get a good soak in. And as you guys saw earlier, we went ahead and refurbished this bed. I've got the corn already buried, and we implemented some fresh compost, and we finalized it with a topping of bone meal, which is high in your phosphorus. Okay, so when you're planting your garlic, all we're simply going to be doing is one simple process: taking your garlic. Okay, and there's 2 ends of this. Okay, there's that pointy end right there, and then there's the end that looks like it had the roots coming out of it. And you want that end that's got what looked like used to be the roots coming out of it, you want that down in the ground. Okay, your actual stalk is going to come out of that pointy end, the top. And let's see here, what else can I mention? Well, you can do this a couple ways. You can simply embed this into the ground like so, and just work it down in there. You can also dig a trench and dig a couple trenches. Now the width of your trenches, it's really dependent on you. Okay, you don't have to follow anything very specific, but what I like to do is I space my garlic out every 2 to 3 inches. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do 3 inches apart because I'm gonna fill up this whole bed. So I'm gonna give the bulb a little more space than I normally would in the past. I would do it every 2 inches, but today we're just gonna do every 3 inches, and we're just gonna go ahead and put it right down there. Now the depth is like any other seed. Okay, if it's like a grass seed that's very small, okay, you don't bury it much. Okay, you don't bury it at all, really. You just lay it on top of your soil and you cover it up. With these bigger bulbs, okay, you want to go the depth, at minimum you want to go the depth of the actual bulb. So this is about a 1 inch in thickness. Okay, we're going to go ahead and bury it about 1 to 2 inches. We're going to go ahead and give it 2 inches and space them every 3 inches apart, and then we're just going to create our rows and fill this whole bed up with garlic. All right, guys, that's it. We went ahead and got our garlic in the ground. We got it buried at a depth of about 2 inches or so. We've covered it back up with the soil, gave it a nice little pat down. The soil itself was already moist, so I'm not gonna go and water again. We're gonna continue and wait until our routine watering cycle. We've got a majority of it soft neck, organic, from the store, test trial, that has been soaked. And then we've got some hard neck varieties over here, 4 different. We've got a Duganshi, a chestnut, a German extra, and a music hardneck, okay, that was not soaked, okay. Now some of you guys might be asking, Chris, why did you go ahead and soak the garlic, okay? The reason why we soak them, and this is again a test trial, is a couple reasons. The baking soda, it's to help prevent fungus issues, okay. The sea kelp and the fish emulsion, that is simply to promote root growth. Remember, when you guys are planting your any kind of bulb flowers, or in this case garlic, we're looking for immediate root development, okay? And you might see some of the shoots start to pop up due to that little fertilizer fixture. And that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? We want a little bit of that, that way it can start to photosynthesize, but the energy is primarily for the root system. The last thing I want to say is when you guys are choosing your garlic varieties, okay? Now, the example that I'm doing today is store-bought from Albertson organic garlic, okay? And it's produced and made or grown in the United States. Same with these hardneck, okay? Now, when you guys are deciding on which garlic variety to choose, or if you're just buying garlic out there at a whim, on a whim, you just want to make sure that you get American grown or United States grown garlic, okay? The facts are, when you guys do come across some garlic that's grown, for example, in China or third world countries, remember this, and this is the turnoff about it if you're outsourcing from a different country for your garlic, is that garlic almost 75% of the time is grown in water sources and fertility sources that are from animal feces or human feces, okay? It's not a good way to propagate or grow produce. So therefore, when you're sourcing your garlic, make sure that it's American grown, okay? And the way that you can tell when you guys are out shopping is the garlic that you either source from a farm or somewhere store-bought, is the United States has a regulation, okay? So when we import garlic from a third world country or China, for example, they are required to cut off the entire root system from the bottom of the garlic, and it's almost concaved on the bottom of it, okay? It looks like this pretty much, as opposed to American grown garlic that's, you know, shipped locally within the United States. That's still going to have some of the root system on it. That's the primary way that you can tell the two differences, okay? But when you're doing an organic garden, okay, you want to incorporate something that is locally grown, USDA approved, and that it's not grown in any sort of unnatural water source or utilizing any kind of toxic or bad fertility programs. Moreover, they are required to bleach their garlic before it's shipped to the United States. So you want to stay away from all that. That way you're not inducing any unwanted toxins or chemicals into your body as you guys are consuming this food. That's the last thing I'm going to say about garlic. All you do now, once it's planted, is you leave it the heck alone. You keep up the watering, and then there's more to come as we get into the spring of the new year, such as fertility and additional watering at appropriate amount of time, and of course the harvesting process. For all that, you guys stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so when we do these updates, you guys will get the immediate notification. You guys have a good one. Bye.